Hey, I'm Kevin. Welcome back to My Rival Games as we do our 2025 review of Unmatched Characters and their special abilities. As you know, I love the game of Unmatched. That's why I'm doing these reviews, but we are not affiliated nor endorsed by Restoration Games or Unmatched. So we're going to start with our moving goats. So we start with Sinbad. I love playing with Sinbad, trying to collect those voyages because if you do, you will get great effects on your cards, and when you maneuver, you may move your fighters plus one space for each voyage card in your discard pile. So, once you get 3, 4, 5 voyage cards in your discard pile, you can be moving many, many spots. So, I think Sinbad is a movement goat. As the game progresses, he can move further and further with each maneuver. And then you have Bruce Lee, Fleet of Foot, the king of attack, but also the king of retreat. You can move at the end of your turn. You may move Bruce Lee one space. So get in, hit your kicks, hit your attacks, and then at the end of your turn, move back one. Definitely great against melee fighters. Against ranged fighters, not going to be as effective. Although you can try to find those spots on the board where you are adjacent but in different zones. So that way, at least you make them take a extra maneuver on their first space to get into the same zone. And moving on to the Ancient Lesson, it's just cool how there's multiple ability here that the sidekicks have extra movement. So you can see in the bottom of that card, your wolves have a move value of 3, whereas Ancient Lesson has a move of 1. But there is the additional power where you can add +3 to the value of the Lesson's attacks if he already attacked on that turn. So just a very robust card, and just nice to see the sidekicks actually have a different amount of movement. For newcomers, it is always a question that's asked. Do you get to move the hero and the sidekicks by the movement amount? It is common for newcomers to think you have to split it up. If you have a movement of 3 or 2 for Sinbad, you can move Sinbad 1 and the Porter 1. That's not the way it works. Sinbad can move 2, and the Porters can move 2. So in this case, with the Ancient Lesson, although the Lesson moves 1, the Wolves can move 3 based on the card. The other thing that pops in mind is may move up to is so key. You don't have to move all 3 spots. And that's something that, again, newcomers will ask about. So I figured I'd just mention it. So those are my movement goats: Sinbad with the voyages, Bruce Lee with the ability to retreat at the end of the turn, and the Lesson having the sidekicks move 3 while he only moves 1. Now we get into some move and reach that's a little bit ugly. Buffy, it's not a set a lot of people choose decks from and characters from. There's a reason for that. It's not only the special abilities, but she has health starting at 14. And then her special ability, Buffy may move through spaces containing opposing fighters, including when she is moved by effects. It just doesn't come into play that often that you need to move through opponents where it is that helpful of a special ability. But I will say, other than the squirrels, maybe from Squirrel Girl, who don't act like regular fighters, the great part about this game, and a shout out to the creators of the game, there's just so much variety, and no other character really has that special ability. So it is unique that she can move through opponents, but it's just not enough to really use her as a fighter that can take on a lot of other special abilities. So we have her in the move category of looking a little ugly. And then we have T-Rex. So larger fighter, takes up 2 spots. It is nice at the end of your turn, you draw a card. So it's not just a reach sort of power, but it's tough to maneuver the big character. And then they're more vulnerable anyway. So we don't see it as that helpful of a power. And with that said, there's not many cards that are bad in terms of movement or reach. A lot of the movement cards have multiple powers. The reach, it's better than melee. So all in all, we don't think there's that many ugly characters. So you see there, The size difference, we tried to make them to scale based on those bases. You have Buffy taking up the one spot, and T-Rex, the only big fighter. Although there is rumor and gossip, there will be another big fighter coming soon. Really curious to see what their special ability will be. So we'll be excited to review that in 2026 when that is released. So we see here, we talked about Sinbad and Bruce Lee and the Leshen, on their goat movements. We also have Leonardo coming out soon with the Turtles. And, we like that movement because it can be any fighter. So depending on, if you're playing against a token character, it might be good to be able to move fighters off of certain spots. So it seems like that'll be really advantageous. You can decide which one to move, whether you move closer to them, they move closer to you, you flee, that sort of stuff. Robin Hood, after attacks, can move 2 spaces. A perfect retreat character. You can attack twice and then retreat, rather than having to attack and then be vulnerable if you don't move on your second action. And also with that, it allows you to do something that if it is hard for other characters. So if you need to be in range or melee adjacent, and you have to use your first action to maneuver and then your second action for attack, then you're stuck there, prone to whatever attack your opponent might have because your turn's over. And Robin Hood's good about that because if they maneuver, attack, then they don't need a third action to retreat. So in a way, that can kind of be seen, almost as a third action guaranteed every time, which would be very valuable with all those action characters that only have an if-then statement on their extra action. We also have Ms. Marvel. So at the start of the turn, you can move 1 extra space. So perfect retreat. Then you can attack with Ms. Marvel and then use your second action on the turn to retreat again. So it follows that same pattern. Eridan, if sidekicks are dead, can move 1 extra space. We've talked about in other videos the Invisible Man being able to travel through fog tokens. And Moon Knight, the self-titled Moon Knight, start of turn, can move 2 spaces for, once again, retreating and attacking, that back and forth flow. So that's why those are neither ugly cards nor are they the GOAT, but it is nice to be able to move back and forth, attack, retreat, attack, retreat. And then on the reach side, as we talked about, T-Rex, not that helpful. In a previous video, my favorite, I probably would have put it on the GOAT list if we didn't already have the 3 spots taken up, and that's Bullseye, namely because Bullseye can attack from outside of the zone. So most characters, you have to either be adjacent or in the same zone. A couple of these characters, you could be 1 spot away, so you're still prone to getting attacked on the next turn. But with Bullseye, even against a ranged character, you can attack from a different zone and not be as vulnerable. So highly recommend Bullseye versus other ranged characters, fun to play like that. And if you're in the float like a butterfly, I couldn't say it right. If you are Muhammad Ali and in the stance of float like a butterfly, then you can attack from 2 spaces away. So lots of good attack there, either the +2 on stinging like a bee or attacking from 2 spaces away. Really great mindset game with Ali on, I've been talking about attack, retreat, attack, retreat. This is kind of a new spin on that where it's attack, retreat, but you can still attack because of that reach of 2. So I haven't played with Ali yet. Really excited to play with my group on that, as I know they got the Ali set in recently. So definitely want to try him out as a character, but I think it'll be a fun special ability to play with. All right, so we would normally be done the video at this point, but standard abilities that act like special abilities. And the move 3, it's already a +1 compared to if you had a +2 with a special ability of +1, that would be your move 3. So we have this nice list, and then you have your range heroes. Again, what's better than being able to attack from 2 spaces away or 5 spaces away? And that's being able to attack from who knows how many spaces away because you're in the same zone. Especially there's some maps where, their zones could be on the opposite side of the board and whatnot. So Really fun to play with those ranged heroes and ranged sidekicks. But who are the best of these standard abilities? So we've highlighted a few. Golden Bat is one of them. So Golden Bat is a great character, has great cards, has 18 as a starting health point, +2 to the values of attacks if they haven't maneuvered. And when they do maneuver, it's a movement of 3. So definitely a powerful being there. On the range side, it's nice to have heroes and sidekicks that are both range. It gives you even more power on the attacks. And we've chosen Yennefer and Triss for this one because you choose which special ability between Yennefer or Triss, but then the other character becomes the sidekick. Such a great gameplay design that you choose which one in the beginning of the game, and that's the special ability. And then you have the sidekick. And why I highlighted them here is that no matter who you choose as the hero and who you choose as the sidekick, they are both ranged characters. So you have a hero and a sidekick that is ranged, and that is really awesome. We have a few more characters highlighted here. So Medusa, not only, let's just go look at it here. Medusa, at the start of your turn, you may deal 1 damage to a opposing fighter in the zone. She has a starting power of 16. So a really fun character. She has sidekicks. So a lot going for her, but then also a ranged character that can move 3. So just so much going on. It's why we constantly say Medusa is great to play with. And then we all know that one effects card that really can help on the attack. Just so much going for Medusa. The Genie, also a move 3 and a ranged hero. Again, these are powerful cards. When you put together the special ability, the move 3, maybe the starting health power, and then certainly the fact that they're ranged, it's great. And so we leave with Robert Muldoon and the InGens. So I don't have it highlighted here, but the InGen workers are the sidekicks. They are ranged. They also move 3, and he's a ranged hero. So again, so much going on here. A bunch of ranged characters. You have a movement of 3, and then at the start of each turn, you get to place a trap. And whenever one of your traps is returned to the box, you draw a card. And then the effects are going to be making those traps really deadly as well. The only thing not going for Muldoon is the starting health of 14, but I just think he's a standard ability goat with a decent special ability. So just a lot going. So look for those ranged characters. Look for the characters that have sidekicks. Look for those that have a movement of 3 and a high starting HP. And you might have found yourself a winning character. So as we talked about, more than moving, the Genie. At the start of your turn, you may discard 1 card to gain an action. So you have a starting health of 16. He's a ranged character. You move 3, and you can gain actions. Like, that is just infinite power, as it says on the card there. So we love the Genie as well. And so, as you can see, we've been looking at all these special abilities throughout these videos, but don't take for granted the standard abilities. And we'll eventually do a set of videos on the effects cards. That's usually what becomes most popular because you're playing that in the heat of the moment and it can get really exciting. But the special abilities, as we said, that's the variety that makes this game amazing. So thanks for tuning into my review. I hope you check out the videos we've already released, subscribe and like the channel.